Hey everybody, it's Michael here from Replica Airguns, and we're doing another giveaway. I did mention at one point, it was maybe about a month ago, a little longer, that I would be doing a giveaway for these Little Duke, John Wayne Little Duke. They're like a kind of Red Ryder BB gun, right? So I've got some other guns here we're going to put this one up against. This video is to announce this giveaway. We're going to be giving away 2 of these, okay? And to take part in this giveaway, you will have to go check on the link in the description here. To do that, there's a number of ways you can get involved. We have like an online system that we do that sort of gives you different options. How you can get involved, the more ways you want to get involved, the more votes you get, I guess essentially, the more chances you have of winning. So check that out. There will be a link how you can get involved. We did this before and it worked really, really well. So we'll be doing something very similar to the last giveaway that we did. Okay, so in this video, we are going to test out feet per second performance of all 3 rifles, kind of get a comparison of them all, and we are going to check out accuracy. Now this is just a real quick test. This isn't like an end-all be-all type of review here where we're going to say determine which is the best. I've only put a few rounds, maybe 20 rounds for the Little Duke. They do take a little bit of break-in time. Both of these guns here have had a little bit more break-in time, so they may perform a little better today. So keep that in mind, right? I just didn't want to go and shoot hundreds of rounds through this guy. It's really cold outside, I got to tell you that. So let's just get right to it. I'm going to put 3 rounds, or get 3 tested rounds at least through each gun, so we can get a determination of the feet per second. 311.2. Most of them will shoot between 300 and 350. 306. And 302. So just over 300, pretty normal for these guys. They do claim up to 350. That's being, pretty nice, I'd say, for most of these guns. All right, next we're going to test the Red Ryder. Okay, we're going to start this over. Okay, here we go. 252.9. 253, so a little slower. That one didn't shoot. Sometimes that happens. I'm not worried about that. That happens with all these guns. If a BB doesn't quite get in there. Okay, 255. So right in the 250 zone. About 50 FPS slower. And last but not least, well, this one's been caught. That's not a good sign. That means the spring's been tense. So let's see what's happening here. Oh, that one, 313.5. So it looks like we got a little more power going on. You can hear it. It's going pretty good. 304, much faster than the Red Ryder, closer to the Little Duke. You really hear it getting down there. So 305. So the Marlin Cowboy and the Little Duke were pretty close. I have a feeling the Little Duke might have just edged it out a tiny bit, but we're not talking a lot. We're talking maybe a few FPS. The Red Ryder for sure shooting slower, but I have a feeling the Red Ryder might do the best in accuracy. We'll find out. Let's put some targets up. I'm going to put 5 rounds. Downrange, we're looking at about 30 feet downrange. I'm going to use a semi-rested or pretty much a rested position, sitting with a sandbag on the front here. All right, let's get that done. I've got my first target set up. We're going to be replacing each target after each gun has got its 5 rounds through it. And we're going to start with the Little Duke. And I haven't really worried, I'm not worried so much about, getting it where it hits on the paper. It's more about, is it going to get a nice tight grip for me? 1. Okay, that happens. It's a no shot. 2. 3. 4. It's feeling okay. 'Kay. All right, let's take a look. Switch up the paper. Again, I'm not worried about where it's hitting on the paper, like high, low, left, right. I don't really care. It's the grouping I'm after. So this is about a 4-inch group. You know, I should do better, but again, this guy needs some break-in time for sure. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let's do the next gun here. All right. We're going to do the Red Rider, which was the slowest in FPS. Let's see how she does in terms of accuracy. Okay, I gotta get lower here. Slouching a little. There we go, that's better. Definitely here, it takes a little longer for this BB to get down range. 50 FPS makes a difference. At least in terms of how quickly it gets there, you can hear the delay. I think that was 3. 4. Okay, let's take a look. How we do here? Yeah, it was definitely a little tighter. Definitely accuracy in terms of where the pellet or the BBs are hitting is more directly closer to the bullseye. A little tighter, I'd say closer to 3.5 inches. So I'd say slightly better with the Red Rider, but it's not like night and day. I did notice that the little Duke shot a bit higher. I do have the target set up, or the sight set up to shoot as low as possible, just so you know. I was playing around with it and noticed it shoot pretty high, so I brought it down and it still shoots a little bit high. That can be adjusted slightly just by your aim point. You know, it depends on how far out you're shooting. If you're shooting at targets further out, then having that higher sight point isn't a bad idea. Okay, so let's give the Marlin Cowboy a go here. See how she does. Trigger's a little bit heavier on the Marlin. Not that bad though. No shot. Come on, you can do it. Sometimes you get a little bit of oil in there and stuff, doesn't want to drop in. Okay, we got a third one there. 2 more, I think. She's having some trouble. There we go. I think one more. I kind of almost lost count, but we'll find out when we get up there. Okay, that did hit. That should be 5. I'll bring the little Duke up. That's my stage prop. Okay, so when I compared the Red Rider to the Marlin Cowboy a while back, the Red Rider was more accurate. And you can see here, we spread out to, I'd say even, we're getting close to a 5 and a bit inch from top to bottom. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, no, sorry, more like 4.5 inches. So maybe 5, but definitely bigger than the Red Rider. The Red Rider was definitely well centered out of all of them, and the tightest group at, you know, just about 1 3/4 inches, maybe, not quite 2 inches. I'm not even sure if I said 4, but these are 2-inch groups because each square is about 2 inches. So this would be about I think I said 4. I'll take that back. This is more like a 2-inch grouping. If you look at from edge to edge, from BB edge to edge, it's more like 2 inches. I think I said 4 because I was counting the 4 quadrants. It's more like 2 inches. So I take that back. This is more like 1.5 inches to 1 3/4 inches with the Red Rider. So the little Duke got about 2 inches. And then you're looking at 1, 2, 3.5 at least with the Marlin Cowboy. So What can we take away from all this? We can take away that the Marlin Cowboy and the Little Duke had the best FPS at close to 300, just up and over. The Red Ryder was about 50 FPS less. It definitely, you can hear the delay. You can hear that the BBs weren't hitting as hard as the Marlin Cowboy and the Little Duke, but the Red Ryder was the most accurate, with the Little Duke coming in a close second. So if you want probably the best of both, at least with this test that I did today, and not even really putting a lot of rounds through here, so I think the Little Duke has more potential to tighten up those groups. I have shot the other guns a bit more. That cleans them out. There's always some you know, metalwork debris, just some machining debris in the guns, a little extra oil and stuff that needs to work its way through, and that can affect the BB. It can get on an edge and make it spin off a bit. So you know, there's definitely some more opportunity for the Little Duke to even tighten its groups up. And so I'm going to say that the Little Duke is probably my best choice right now. I like the open lever, and I like the wood. Everything looks really nice on this gun. It's a really nice gun. It's probably the most compact out of all of them. Really gets in there tight, but it still seems to work pretty good. It does shoot a little high, so you might want to, you know, just account for that when you're shooting at objects at different ranges. All right, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Username is Replica Airguns. Check out that contest giveaway if you want to get involved. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be for the US and Canada, because we can't ship guns anywhere else. We just only ship to those locations because of regulations and import laws and all that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind. But to our US and Canadian customers, you can get involved, or viewers, you can get involved even if you're not a customer. It doesn't matter. Check out the link in the description. Check out the post over at replicairguns.com. I'll have a link there and information on how you can get involved. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.